is literally how we live our lives. Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another video. So now that summer is officially wrapping up and a lot of people are either going back to school or work or any other responsibility, it can feel a little bit unmotivating and kind of sad to get back into routine. But I'm here to say that this is one of the best times of the year. Just because a fun season is ending, that doesn't mean that we can't make the next season even more fulfilling, transformative, and amazing for ourselves. Especially with so many people going back to school, and that's often marketed as like a dreaded thing, but it's really not. Going back to school and getting into new routines was always my favorite time of the year as a kid, so I thought I'd share a little bit of that positivity with you and give you some mindset reminders for this fall to make your fall the absolute best it can be. I feel like we could all use a couple of mindful positive reminders right now. So that is the whole purpose of today's video. I have 5 little mindset mantras for you guys, and I have left all the timestamps in the description below. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing I want to reiterate is your future success depends on your actions in the present. Now, if you think about it, this is just common sense, but in reality, we don't really consider the small habits and the small little things you do every single day that compound into how we live our lives. I saw this quote that said, "Your whole life is the sum of your habits." I think it was from the book Atomic Habits, but I'm not completely sure. That really stood out to me and just reminded me that these little small things we do every day is literally how we live our lives. So if you want to live a very productive, fulfilled, successful life, your habits need to reflect that now. So what you can do this school year is, instead of giving into the temptation of maybe scrolling or spending hours on Instagram and TikTok, pick up your studying, do some flashcards, study some vocab, do some things that are going to enrich your brain and bring you closer to success and achieving your goals, instead of things that, while might not seem harmful in the short term and are just kind of things you do every day, they're really actually harming you over time and keeping you from your highest potential. Because every single person has the potential to make the best out of their life that they possibly can. Living the best life that you can is determined by how you live your life every day. If you want to be a successful person, you have to live like a successful person. Now, what I mean by this is you can't let little things get in your way. You can't let those little unproductive or even harmful habits that you keep doing that you don't really think about, you can't let those slide anymore. You have to address them and get to the root of the problem, the root of maybe your procrastination or your unproductivity or your lack of motivation, and try to change those behaviors one by one, instead of just waiting for the future and waiting to see if it'll change, because nothing will change unless you do. This isn't meant to stress you out or threaten you in any type of way, because really, that's just reality. We have to take control of our own lives, and we have to know what's best for us and what habits are going to make us into the best versions of ourselves, and also what's not. If you want to start waking up early, do that now. Start working towards that goal now. Get rid of all of your multiple alarms. Just have one single alarm. Place your phone away from your bed. That way you actually have to go to turn it off. And also limit your screen time or your focus time right before bed that's going to keep you up and disrupt your sleep. That way you can get a nice restful sleep and be ready to wake up early the next morning. I have a whole video on becoming a morning person because that's something I love. I love my mornings, so watch that right here if you want to learn more. But that's just a really common goal for a lot of people at the beginning of the school year, and one way that you can better yourself now for the future. Number 2, romanticizing your studying is the key to academic success. As a chronic studying and note-taking enjoyer, this is how I get good grades, succeed on my projects, and do well on my exams, just because I have fun with it. And I know that for a lot of people, taking exams and doing projects, presenting can be really stressful and difficult. But especially for me, I found that romanticizing and having fun with it takes a lot of that worry away and actually makes it something that I can get excited for. So a couple of my favorite romanticizing study tips. I love having a good study fall playlist. I think that is essential. You need to have some sort of music to get you in a flow state, at least for me. I love listening to smooth jazz or a nice chill work type of playlist, but I know one of my friends listens to actual house music and rave sets while she's doing her work because it keeps her motivated and keeps her energy high while she's working. So find out what works for you, find out what music puts you in that flow state and in that mood to just work. Another big tip is actually put some thought into your study materials and the things you use to take notes, carry your stuff in. Tailor that to your personality and your personal style. If you know, you know. I love taking notes and I love stationery. I'm a stationery collector. I own every single color possible of zebra mild liners. Fun fact. And I'm not just having them to have them and collect them and keep them all cute in a little office setup like you see on Pinterest. I genuinely use them to color code, note take, annotate, everything. I use them completely, okay? And it just makes studying so much more fun. Having cute little study materials and things that you use makes the whole process so much more actually fun and easy to romanticize and be wow, this is actually really cute. I'm that girl in the cafe taking her notes, listening to her music with her cute highlighters in my little notebook. It's just such an experience, and the vibe genuinely completely changes once you start doing this. So highly recommend investing in some type of study materials that are going to keep you motivated and actually make your studying or your work fun. Speaking of making it an experience, you have to completely cultivate the vibe, okay? So I never study in my dorm room, my bedroom, anything like that. I always find a cute space outside of my personal space to go do my work, study. So I usually go to a library. Cafes are my all-time favorite. If you know, you know. Get a little coffee to go with your studying. There's people around you working, so you want to work. It's just the ultimate study vibe. So put on a cute outfit, get in a good mood, have that playlist going, get your favorite little drink, maybe a little snack too on the side. Just make it a whole vibe. Really get into that Rory Gilmore study fall autumn energy and just sit in that, because that is going to make studying and getting into the process of studying again so much more enjoyable, trust me. Number 3, trying and failing is so much better than never even trying at all. When you fail, you're actually learning so many valuable lessons that you would have never learned otherwise had you not even tried at all. Failing is how we grow. Failing is how we learn from our mistakes, from our past, and it's how we become the best version of ourselves over time by continuously improving on our failures. But how are you going to make those improvements and learn that knowledge if you never even tried in the first place? Not to mention, what if you succeed? What if you don't fail at all? What if it's infinitely better than you could have ever even hoped for? What could have been if you tried? What could have been if you had only done the thing that you told yourself you were going to do? But you'll never know. The worst feeling you can ever feel is regret for not doing something. I promise you, trying and failing, even if you might be embarrassed, even if you might be discouraged in the moment, is so much more beneficial, fulfilling, and necessary to live your life than to not even try at all and feel guilty or regret it in the long run. And I feel like this is especially necessary for people who are going back to school, who might be in college, who don't know what they really want to do. Try everything that you can, because you will find your people, your major, you will find whatever you want to do, and don't completely disregard things that don't interest you. If you're even the least bit interested, give it a chance, because again, you never fully know what you like until you try it. So take that class even if it seems really hard. Go talk to that person that you want to be friends with, even if they might look a little bit intimidating. Just take that chance, because you never know where it's going to lead you. And if it fails, so what? At least you learned. At least you became a better person out of it. Number 4, successful people work smarter, not harder. Contrary to what a lot of people believe and what a lot of people think like a straight A successful student or business person does, they're actually not up all night working, studying, losing sleep, not having a social life. No. The real successful ones are just finding ways to do all of that in a quicker time, in a smarter way. A study girl, straight A, it girl student is not staying up until 3 a.m. the night before a test because she's already done her studying. She already knows the material. She's already tested herself. She knows that she has this test, so she can get a full 8 to 10 hours of sleep before the test and wake up feeling her absolute best on exam day. That girl knows her grades don't define her worth, so she doesn't completely burn herself out. She's not tiring herself out over her work and trying to go the extra mile to do every single thing possible, because she's working smarter, not harder, for her success. And this is ultimately the key to being a straight A student. I had straight A's all throughout high school, and I never once lost even an hour of sleep over some academic pursuit. Instead, I used my time wisely and I paced out my assignments instead of saving them all for the last minute. And I would genuinely go to like my professors or my teachers to get help when I was confused. And if they couldn't help me, I would just figure it out on my own. If you can have a solid 2 to 4 hour time block of just deep focused work where you're focusing on your assignments in full flow mode, you're golden. That is literally all you need. Because when you're working harder, you'll want to study for like 8 to 10 hours a day, when realistically, that's just not possible. You're going to get burnt out by like hour 6. And yes, maybe for some people, they can do that and they can keep up that focus, but over time, you're not gonna be able to do that for every single weekend or every single day for that matter. Instead, having like a few short focus blocks in a day makes you so much more motivated and it's so much more easy to start. Also be sure to schedule in a few breaks for yourself to give yourself that little brain break, because you do need those too. Use the materials directly from your teacher, professor, your class, or whatever. Use those to study. Redo practice questions, redo homework assignments, redo anything that you've been assigned so you can get kind of comfortable with actually answering and working with the material that you have in the way that you're going to be working with it on an exam, on a test, on a project, whatever. Just get comfortable with doing that, because that makes exams so much more less stressful, and half of taking a test is understanding the questions. So if you can understand going into a test the way the questions are going to be asked and the phrasing of them, that is going to give you so much more confidence and you will be so much more prepared than you think you are. And number 5, the final reminder for this video, you are on your own journey in your own time. I know, it can be really discouraging and really confusing to see people who know exactly what they want, get exactly what they want, have their whole life figured out by the time that they're like a freshman in high school. That's great, and some people know exactly what they want literally since they're little kids. But for other people, me included, they don't know exactly what they like and they need some more time to figure it out. And if you're one of those people, that is perfectly okay. There's so much pressure to have your whole life figured out by the time you're literally not even an adult yet. Even if you are an adult, if you're in your 50s and you still don't know what you want to do and you still don't know what you're doing, that's okay, because literally nobody knows what they're doing. We're all going through life for the first time. We're all just figuring it out as we go along, because we're all on our own journeys, in our own time, on our own path, doing our own things. Don't feel discouraged if you see people around you who have it all figured out, because you will get there someday. And really, the destination isn't the good part of life. Life is all about the journey that we take to get there. There really is no single destination, because all of the memories that you make, the people that you meet, all of your experiences, it's all along the journey. So I just wanted to leave that in there, because I know a lot of people going back to school, they can stress about their future, where they are right now, if they don't have it all figured out and trying to get things going. Just stop, take a second, breathe, figure out where you're at right now, be grateful for where you're at right now, try to step back and distance yourself from all that worrying and thinking and overthinking, and just say, you know, I'm on my own journey in my own time. I'm not going to let other people's opinions or other people's journeys influence mine, because this is your life. You only get one, so you might as well enjoy it while you're here. But yeah, that is all of the fall mindset, back to school, new beginning mindset reminders I have for you all. I just thought we could all use a little bit of positivity and motivation going into a new season. A lot of people are feeling maybe discouraged or kind of sad that they have to go back to routine, but I think that's one of the most beautiful times of the year, because it's always the most transformative time of the year, at least for me. And I just love back to school in general. Even when I was like a little kid, I loved like going out and buying new backpacks and things. So I just think it's a great time of the year, and we should celebrate new beginnings and getting back into routine. If you make it fun, it will be the best time of the year, trust. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like the video, you can let me know by leaving a like and a comment below. Maybe comment what you are excited about this fall. Also, if you want to see more fall content, I'm gonna have a lot of routine and getting back into routine videos coming soon, so stay tuned for that. You can subscribe below. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, or whenever you happen to be watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.